All right, how are you today, Jordan?
Good, Kieran, mate. How are we?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm sitting here at top seven again, like the last three fucking games. Uh,
Hey, that's
Killing it.
good, mate. That's good. It's very
Yeah,
good.
we killed it. Let's talk. First off, obviously we have to talk about Ridley
Yeah, we
scoring
do.
31, and he's out for next week. Similar to what happened
Yeah,
with Daniels, but obviously obviously Jordan scored the 31 in the first quarter or whatever, and Daniel
yeah.
scored the 19 for the whole
The whole
game.
game.
And he was
Yeah,
sorry. I think he wasn't injured. He got sent off because he tackled the guy dangerously.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
yeah, that's very true. Very
two
true.
different
Very
reasons. Yeah,
yeah, very disappointing for Jordan Ridley owners.
yeah,
But we're gonna go into depth about it. It's probably the same predicament as Caleb Daniel. I think you just
yeah.
hold him because it's probably
Uh,
only gonna be a week.
yeah. I'm gonna hold him for a week. Like you can
Yeah,
swap him for a premium, but at that point, it'll get to a point where you want to get him back in, and he's still gonna be what? He's still gonna be. He won't go down further than. He won't go anywhere near the 500k mark. He'll still sit around the
yeah,
550s or so. Because if
yeah.
he's going to keep averaging 130, whatever he was averaging before,
Mm,
not
yeah.
not to mention the 31 score he did. He's still the top or the highest scoring defender with that
Yeah.
31 score, which is insane.
It's crazy.
Insane
Very,
stats.
very, yeah, very crazy.
Even though I was saying it's like he's averaging 112, but still like that with a 31 there.
Yeah. I didn't catch the game. So I was actually really, really concerned that he had done a shoulder or something like that.
Yeah,
But when I heard it was a concussion, I'm like, okay, kind of breathed a sigh of relief, even though I
exactly,
don't own him. I'm actually
exactly.
really
Yeah,
happy. I know it sounds really bad, but I'm actually really happy he got injured because that means
yeah.
I can pick him up for cheaper.
Well, exactly. You didn't start off with him, and we've got
Yeah.
some players that we'll talk about later that have started off fairly slow. That probably now's the time to almost bring him in, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And really,
Very
is
true.
almost one of them. He's got a break
Mm,
even of what 190, and
90.
if you don't have him, as soon as he starts coming back, he'll score. He'll come back and score 100 and something, no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
So
I,
you're gonna miss on that score like once, but you're gonna pick him up for cheap, a lot
yeah.
cheaper anyway.
I'd say as soon as his break even's under 100, that's when you jump on.
Yeah, 100%, a hundred
Yeah.
percent. And the thing is, it'll be about 2 weeks. I'll guarantee you, 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
you'll bring him back in. After the two
Yeah.
weeks, yeah, easy.
Fingers crossed.
With Daniels, I hope he has a great score. He needs to come back and just prove himself. He needs to score over 100 again, like his first
Mm.
round.
Yep.
Because I think last year he was pretty consistent. His lowest score 71,
Yeah.
highest score 134.
Yeah.
If he can hit over 110, I'll be very happy. Very happy.
Yeah.
But that's another person that you could have picked up really cheap, and that's you can pick up really cheap in a couple of weeks' time
Yes.
because he
Indeed.
had that,
His break
especially
even
with
is
that
what?
19.
Yeah. Break even of 159, I
159.
think it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I reckon I really do hope he comes back with a vengeance this week too. I
a hundred
reckon
percent. Yeah,
he'd be the type of player that would thrive off that. Be like, yeah, okay, I made a mistake.
yeah,
And even Bevo is going to get in his ear this week and be like, Caleb, we need you to play your role this week, mate.
100%.
And he's going to be the kind of player that will stand and deliver. Basically, I
Yeah.
can't see him letting us down. Hopefully, fingers
Well,
crossed.
the other thing as well, he scored 19, shit conditions, and he was basically almost tagged the whole game as well.
Yeah, he was.
And
He copped a forward tag.
he got the forward tag, but the thing is, like, he still should be down back taking the kick-ins, and that's where all his points are getting. That's why he scored the 110s the whole last year, sort of thing.
Yes.
And that's what I wish
Yeah.
he was doing this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all right. I've got a couple
Yeah.
players that we can talk about that it's probably almost time to bring in. First one's
Definitely.
Neale. Basically, honestly, it is the time to bring him in.
Chalky Locky.
Chalky Locky. If you can bring him in, that's great. He's
Yeah.
apparently he's fit. He's been at training and everything like that, and he scored
Yeah.
157 last week, which is what we were used to. All
Yeah.
from last year. I think he had a massive run of just 150s and stuff.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's huge.
That's yeah, exactly. And he's basically made it really cheap for us to pick him up.
Mm.
And look, you can swap a premium for him, but I'd see if you can get him in for basically for cheap sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there's a few things that I might look into about bringing him in for my team, especially. But
Yeah.
yeah, he'll be a good get basically.
Yeah. Well, for 580 as well. 580 is a steal, I reckon, for Lockie Neal
The other one we might need to point out is Hearn as well.
when he comes back.
Yeah, obviously when he comes back, he's about
Yeah.
five weeks, and then
Yeah.
once he comes back, another 2 weeks after that or whatever,
Yeah.
till he starts making his money. But look, his lowest score was 108, and then he scored the 6.
Yeah.
So he's got a shit break even. He's going to be out for 5 weeks. I don't.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to, you can pick up Witherden, and then once he's made his cash, swap him to Hearn. If you really want to make that sort of thing, because Witherden's score was great, and I think we talked about it in our first episode. I was going to pick him over Rich, and I'm kind of glad I don't, because I don't think he will be averaging as well as what Rich. I don't think he's been doing as well as what Rich has been doing since that.
Yeah.
And he never got picked as well, so that's obviously a little bit concern as well.
Yeah, indeed.
One other one is Lloyd as well.
Yep.
Lloyd is almost getting to a point where he's worth the money. Oh, not worth the money, but he's worth every penny, but just worth the time of bringing him in.
Yeah.
His lowest score is 95. And that's probably going to stay consistent. Like, his lowest score for the season might be in like an 80 or something like that. But he's going to hit you. He's going to give you those 110s, 120s and stuff like that. Just like what he did last year. He's a seagull. He's going to get the points.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Yeah. And if he's not kicking in, he's normally the first player that's kicking in.
Correct. So he's got a mark. Usually it's uncontested, but he's got a mark and he's got a kick basically. And it is a good kick, so he's going to get almost 100% as well.
Yeah. So and he's going to want to be someone that you have in your team come season's end as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That kind of
100%. And I'm hoping that with the team that I've got, I can basically upscale into something, especially if I've got a Chapman making money. Hopefully Highmore plays a game, but we'll get into it a bit later. Yeah. The other one I will point out is Josh Kelly. He's almost at the point where he's ready to buy as well. For someone that is going to be almost under 500k, sorry. For someone who's averaged 90, he's averaged 95, but his lowest score is 90. Highest score is 100. That's the thing that scares me as well. His highest score is 100. Yeah. But honestly, he can probably even score 128 as well. He's done. He can do that as well. Yeah. But he might be one to look at as someone who's worth about 500.
Definitely.
A sort of thing. I still think in Neale this week, Neale was the one to sort of look for.
Yeah.
And some of the trades that I'll talk about is me looking to get Neale in. I may wait a week. I'm not 100% sure. Or I may bring him straight in. But it sort of depends on how confident I feel.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
But I'll leave it to you. Do you know if you're going to make any trades this week?
Yeah. So I'll kind of talk through the listeners what happened last week. And
yes.
Kind of what I think
Talk to us last
week.
Week's trades. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So initially, I was only gonna do the one trade.
Yep.
And then come Saturday night, I was making my way to the G to watch Carlton and Port play.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm a Collingwood supporter, but my uncle had a spare ticket and I was going.
100%.
And my mate sent me a message. Shout out to Jackson again. Sent me a message and in capital letters, and he's like, Jordan Clark has been dropped. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
But I can't stress this enough to the listeners. This is why it's important that you should try and keep a trade under your sleeve.
Yeah.
You don't want to use all your trades at the start of the
like
the
what
week
I did.
because it can come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
And you could be playing a donut on your field.
And and if you have a good enough bench, it won't matter too much. Like I had Jordan score 76 for me, and I don't know if Clark was going to score 76 or anything like that.
Yeah.
But him being an out affected a lot of people. Like if you had say Brockman, Neale, and say Scott or something like that, you at best you probably get a 61 sort of thing.
Yep.
Or if you've muffed up your bench emergencies, you've got nothing sort of there. So that's where it sort of becomes important.
That's right.
And if you held that trade, you could have, you could have saved yourself a zero basically.
That's right. So Jordan Clark was named medical sub though, but I'm very glad he didn't play because I ended up trading him out. And like Kieran just said before, if you had bench cover, it wouldn't have mattered. But I didn't have bench cover in my defense, so I had to get rid of him. I wasn't risking it, so I got rid of Jordan Clark and brought in CJ, so Jath.
Oh yeah, mate, good trade.
And then that was that was the second trade that I made, and I talked through the other trade last week that I made in the last podcast video. And so the trade that I'm thinking for this week, and it's probably going to be my only one, fingers crossed, is I'm thinking Nick Cox out
Yep.
And Lockie Jones in.
Yeah, so
Um,
that's interesting to me because Cox has got a low break even,
yeah, he does.
but
He
then again,
does.
Jones will make so much more. I don't know about so much
Yeah,
more money, but he's you're getting like 140K from
yeah.
that trade.
The thing that scares me with Cox is he's had 330 scores this season, and 290 scores. So he's either going to score me. There's that massive discrepancy. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and Jones has had 260 scores in a row.
Jones is like sort of trending upwards as well. He's just sort of getting
Hmm,
better and better. Hopefully, anyway.
yeah, yeah,
I would like to see him score at least another 60 as well. If he scores
yeah,
anything lower than that, don't worry. He's still gonna make you money regardless.
yeah,
I That's another trade I'll talk about as well soon.
yeah,
Lachlan Jones, if you can bring him in as well for someone who's like not maybe not someone who's not playing, but if you're doing an upgrade and you can get Lachlan Jones as well,
yeah.
you're killing it, killing it,
That's
100%.
exactly right, for sure.
I'll talk about my trades that I was looking at because there's a few different options I was doing because I always
Yep.
go a bit weird with my trades, but they've ended up
Yeah,
working. I brought in Steele, and now I'm looking at bringing in Neale.
yeah,
But Clark out,
yep,
coming out.
yep,
First one is Neale, and I'm not too sure if I will do this. It factors on a few things, and the main thing is it factors on a few things. First thing is I don't have enough money for Jones. If I could do that, I would 100%, because I'd rather have Neale there than Cummings or Clark or something like that.
yep,
And that means my midfield is basically just Gordon and Powers, the low income players like the rookies,
yep,
and then I've got sort of Neale there, and then the only thing I have to worry about is having Chapman inside, Chapman playing as
yep,
opposed to Cumming, and Chapman has been scoring. Oh, Cummings scoring like 30 something points more than him, but
yep.
Neale will outscore say Clark any day of the week sort of thing,
That's right.
especially
Yep.
if he's back to where he's normally is.
Mm,
But because I can't do that, I was thinking Mansell,
yep.
and usually it won't matter too much about who I sort of pick as a 102K player. But because I need him to sort of play, because Ridley is out,
Mm,
I can't just sort of because that will be my team without him, and I'm fine with that. But because Ridley is out,
yeah.
I need to make sure that Mansell is playing. So I've got until sort of Friday night to make that decision.
Yeah.
And I've also got, and I need to wait. I can't wait till Saturday or something like that because obviously I'm getting rid of Cumming, who's playing,
You don't know if Highmore's going to play either, so
and I'm not too sure if
can't really
Highmore's going to
wait.
play as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because ideally I'd play Highmore over
Mm,
Mansell and stuff like that.
that's right.
And say if Cumming isn't playing, I'll still probably do a trade similar to that because or else I'll have a zero anyway.
Yeah.
And if Clark isn't playing, I may still look into that, or I might see how
Yeah.
Jordan goes again.
Yeah.
I believe look, I don't know why he got dropped. May have just been rested and stuff like that.
Mm,
I don't pay too much attention to Geelong or anything like that.
yeah. Yeah.
Because he may only came back because Dangerfield has come back in. Now that Dangerfield is injured, he
That's-
may need to step back up again. And I hope
Yeah, it's an
I
interesting
hope that's the
one.
case.
Yeah.
My other trade is to get rid of Clark still.
Yep.
Even though he's got a low break even, and probably the best option is to sort of keep him. But if I can get the money there, it's probably worth it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And to bring in Lachlan Jones,
Yeah.
and it won't matter what sort of he scores after next week because obviously I got Ridley back.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll basically be something like that. If Highmore gets named on the Saturday, I'll most likely play Highmore over Jones.
Yeah.
But and just sort of see how Chapman's doing. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those are the two trades I'm looking at. I'm leaning more
Yeah.
towards this because I've got more of
Yeah.
the cash, and Cummings still got some money to make, and his lowest score is 79.
Yeah.
And if he scores like another decent score as well, I'll
Yeah.
probably just keep him and just see how I go with Neale maybe another week.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know who else to sort of swap for Neale. Like I can get rid of Warner, but again, why sort of would you?
Yeah.
Campbell's not enough money, sort of thing, because considering
Yeah.
Cummings is 390.
Yeah.
The only other thing I can think of is getting rid of CJ, Ridley, or Daniels, who's got high break evens and can pick up later. But then again, you're spending too much trades.
That's
So
right.
I think this is probably the best option for now.
I think so. I think so.
I may even have to miss the boat on Neale, pick him up when he hits 600 something.
Yeah, and that's still
But
a good
I'll be in a
pickup, I
better
reckon.
position by that stage because Jones will be making money. Hopefully,
Yeah,
Heimel plays a third game.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, like I'm still keeping with the three Sydney
hmm
rookies because
yeah,
they've shown that they can score. They can score well, and I'm just hoping that Campbell scores another one of these good games.
yeah,
I think they've all got a 50 break even. Yeah, 53, 51,
yeah,
58.
yeah,
And but yeah, it's just a matter of time. They got G
yeah.
They
That's it.
got Gold Coast on the weekend,
Yeah,
so hopefully they
hopefully
can
they can
all get a good Hopefully they can all get a good sort of kick.
tear it up. Yeah,
Um, as for the as of the only rookies to look at, McRae next week's one of them.
yeah, definitely.
I don't know much about McCreary. I don't know how he
McCreary,
scored.
yeah, McCreary, you can pick him up this week if you want. He has
Okay,
played 2 games,
okay, there you are.
and scored in the 50s, so he could be a forward option,
Yeah,
if you
obviously,
desire.
yeah, obviously that's a better option than
Mm,
Mansell, who was my only option.
yeah,
But as it's like I got Jones and Scott who's still making money.
yeah.
I've got Brockman's. Oh, maybe I'll swap Brockman as well. Only
Depending if he
50k.
gets picked again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
only 50k. It's not worth it.
mm,
The things with McNeil and Scott, they scored like really low scores, so the price has still been going up very gradually.
they're
So
still
he's
getting picked
still
though.
got
They get
19, still got 24, and the Doggers have been winning. So why would you take him out?
yeah. That's what I was just gonna say too. The Dogs are what 5 and 0.
Yep,
I don't know why they would change a winning formula.
exactly.
Um, so if those two boys are in that winning formula, keep them in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And they've been like they've been doing fine as well. They just
they've
been
been
doing their
playing their
job.
role. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Obviously, like look, Scott scored more than Waterman and stuff like that. But I just the way I do it is just go by averages. And obviously Waterman scored a better average. He needs those marks. He needs those goals to have that those 60s. I think he was scoring before or 80. Shit, yeah, 15,
yeah,
which was averaging about 60, 70. Um,
yeah,
before that 27. So like he needs those goals, and I don't think he did that. I don't think he did that last game.
yeah,
One of them had 5 touches, which were all kicks, 5 tackles. Yeah, so I don't think he scored a goal, something like that,
yeah. He didn't score a goal, I don't think.
which is how he was getting his points before.
Mm,
But again, only cost me 102k. So
that's it. Exactly.
why would you even bother?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly right.
as of now, there's no rookies that I want to get rid of.
Yeah,
If I really wanted to, I can get rid of Warner for McCreary, get
yeah,
200k. But look, there's no one else that I want to sort of bring in
mm,
for him, and I'll probably need to do Warner and Campbell to get like an actual decent player. And then
yeah,
again, I'm playing like someone like Scott or McCreary inside the field, which I don't feel
yeah. Not
that
ideal.
comfortable with.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially when who's had those 2 games, what was it? Yeah, 112,
yeah,
112 and the 94, 86. Yeah, it's just a matter of time that he's going to come back to those
yeah,
scores.
yeah.
Um, well, I think Tom Stewart's one of the last days to pick him up as well. 58 break
Definitely,
even. Didn't even
definitely.
notice that.
Yeah.
The 158 does help. And he could be
Yes.
he could be the top 6 defender this year as well.
Definitely.
It's very hard to pick the defenders.
Yeah.
It's a lot hard. Sorry, everyone will have like a sort of different option for what their defenders will be this year, I reckon.
Definitely.
Whereas forwards, there's not many much to pick from. There's Dunkley, there's Zeeble, Martin,
Yeah.
uh,
Toby Green potentially.
Toby Green's a potential one, and I had him at the start of the year and got rid of him, as in
Yeah.
before I started the season.
Yep.
Walker, if he keeps continuing,
Yeah.
which we've sort of been off him since the start,
Yeah.
and I still remain off him, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's burnt me in the
Definitely.
past. I can't tell people to get him when he's burnt me.
That's it.
Martin Green, if he keeps it coming up, Impey.
Impey as well,
Zorko could definitely be one. He's another
Yeah.
one. Butters, where is he?
Yeah.
Butters, I reckon, will be one. Even though
When he
he's
comes back potentially.
even though he's been in 24th top, he's also
Yeah.
played a game less than everyone. So say he
Yeah.
scored, put it this way, say he scored 100, which is what he scored when he was injured. He'll be on 512. He'll be top 5 if he played another week, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, here you go. The most trades was what I did. Traded out
Yeah.
Clark for Jones,
For Jones.
and I did that with Laird, I think.
Yeah.
McCreary for Campbell's another. All right. Oh, Campbell for Jones is a good one.
Yeah.
Because Campbell's I don't think he scored a. I don't think he's had that good of a run, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he's got a 50 break. He can still make that. He's had a 70 last week, didn't make it. He's got a 50 this week. Hopefully he makes it.
Yeah.
Um,
Another player that could potentially finish, I'm gonna say top 10 forwards, Kieran. Nick Hind, actually. Really
yeah.
like his role. Really like his role off half back. He's basically playing Adam Sard's role when he was at Essendon. So yeah, and he came from St Kilda.
And Sard has scored some. Yeah, Sard has scored some points before. Like not obviously not all the time and stuff like that. And I don't know how Hind did last year or anything like that.
Hind was more of a forward for St Kilda.
Okay.
So he came across from St Kilda. So they're playing him in a more Supercoach friendly role, Essendon.
He's
91
in last 93 in the last three games. This is not bad.
Yeah.
For 50 as well. If he keeps picking it up, I think it might be too early to tell if he's going to be a top. Only because like if you can bring him in at this price and he could be a top, or you can bring him at this price and start scoring low as well.
Exactly
It's very hard. It's very hard.
Can't predict these things very early.
And then there's people here that's only on the list that scored a 170. I reckon definitely Butters is the way to go. It's just unfortunate that he had to get injured when he scored 100 and not like something like 6 and stuff like that.
Definitely.
He's still got a fairly high break even, but he might not go, say, 450. He may only go like 475 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that that score was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how he goes, but I'll be watching him 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
The other one that surprised me, which I like to talk about because I've had him in most years that I've played, is Walters. I won't even bother looking for him.
Yeah.
Is Walters? He could be very cheap, and he's been scoring shit. Yeah, he's had terrible scores. What, 3 games, and he's had his highest is 76. Like, but if you can pick him up for like a rookie that you don't have to spend any money in, even if you pick him up as a forward 6 with a low break even, I'm talking like 70 or something like that. Something that he's got a chance of actually getting.
Definitely,
he can surprise people because he scored 100 before. Like he scored heavy before as well.
He's averaged 100 before.
148 last year, and he averaged 100.
Yeah.
And that was of 2 games of 49-60.
I think he was playing more inside mid last year and possibly even the year before. I don't know if he's playing that role this year. I haven't really watched Freo very closely.
Yeah, well, I mean, no one has. But do you reckon that's what sort of how Chera's getting his points?
Yeah, possibly. But he got injured.
Similar.
He got injured.
Yeah, as in sort of like similar role to what Walters was doing last year?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Oh, look, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how they go.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
they're
going to be any good, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that's my team going into next week.
Yeah, very good.
If Mansell plays, I may consider a reverse to get Neale because I do like bringing in premiums. Obviously,
doesn't, mate.
and if I can have, and honestly, here's another thing that I might point out just before we finish. I may even keep Laird in the midfield.
Okay.
And if I can bring in Neale as well here, and only have to worry about one rookie, that's fine. And then because I reckon there's a lot more choices for defenders that can go good. So I can bring in Shaw, I can bring in Lloyd, I can bring in Hearn in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And all it takes is just like that. And CJ, he can possibly be a top at least a top 10 sort of defender the way he's going, sort of thing. And if he keeps that up, I won't even bother trading him. But it just sort of stops me from bringing in another midfield, just because I reckon there's some defenders that can score very well.
Yeah.
And there's some midfielders midfielders can score good, but they can also hurt you. Like I brought in Steele last week for 104. I brought in Waterman last week for the 27. The 2 people I got rid of scored pretty much the exact same sort of thing. But
Oh well.
But look, I'm
Onwards and
hoping,
upwards.
yeah, I'm hoping Waterman doesn't score that this week, and I'm hoping still goes back to scoring 150s for me, or for everyone else.
Exactly.
But yeah. Look, we'll
In
see
the
how
perfect
they.
world that would happen.
Exactly. Who have they got? Port. Fuck, maybe not. What did he score last year against him? 114. If he can score 114, yeah, I'll be happy with that.
Take that. Definitely.
100%.
Alrighty.
I'll be 100%. But yeah, that's my team. I think we'll leave it as that, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah. Remember to like and subscribe, guys, as well. We have really appreciated the support. Had really good comments about the content as well.
Hey, it's been great. Just want to point out, like last video hit like 250 views or something like that. We got 8 subs or something now. That's killing. That's killing it. We've only started this year.
Really appreciate it, guys. So keep it going.
Thanks a lot, everyone. We'll catch you guys next week.
Soon. All right, bye.